I want to speak to the hearts of believers, and a common issue or struggle I see is feeling close to God. And I know a lot of you struggle with that, struggle with feeling in certain seasons that God is further away from you or God is silent. Now, I, for one, struggle with that. Um, I feel like I'm currently kind of in a season of that a little bit, where I feel like God might be a bit silent, or um, sometimes it's like I don't have that like drive to pray or to read my Bible, and um, I feel like this is a more normal and common experience than we'd like to believe or we like to acknowledge. We might go to church and see other believers, raising their hands or and like so much awe or praise, and like internally we might not feel the same, but that doesn't mean that we're not believers. It doesn't mean we're still not children of God. It's just we're in a different season, and I want to emphasize God's faithfulness, and God is faithful to his children no matter how they feel. I think as believers, we kind of gotten into this mindset of God is um, closer or further away from me based on how I'm either feeling, or if I'm in a struggle with like habitual or chronic sin, then we feel that God is further away from us. But no, God is always with us. And I want to emphasize that. And it took me going through different seasons and different um, feelings to really realize that. As a person that deals with mental health issues, it's easy to feel that God is not present or God is not here with me. But I think we need to realize, especially those of you that struggle with different mental health issues, is that it's important to anchor yourself in faith over how you feel in the current time. Now, granted, I like the feeling of God being there with me, or like me feeling on fire for God. That's a great feeling to have, but we shouldn't rely solely on that, because our feelings are always going to switch or chop and change, and we need to rely more so on our faith. We believe that God is always with us, and that the bridge of sin between God and us has been destroyed by what Christ did. And we don't have to fear that we're going to lose our standing with God because we feel a sense of lack within ourselves. We're always, because of our broken nature and our human nature, we're always going to feel a sense of lack or not being enough for God. But God calls us enough for him, not because of what we do, but because of what he did for us. And it's important to kind of remind yourself of that. If you're a believer, the gospel isn't just, when you're accepted at the moment of salvation. It's a daily thing that you have to remind yourself. It's a daily thing that this is the life that I live is because of what God did for me. Like, he's not just going to leave because I'm feeling depressed, or he's not going to leave because I'm struggling with addiction or whatever. That's not how God operates. Um, and I think that is important that we realize that, especially for me as a person that has struggled with scrupulosity, which is a form of religious anxiety, where you feel that you're not doing enough for God. That's important for me to realize and ground myself in. And this video isn't just for you, it's for me, because I need to ground myself in that reality that, I might not feel close to God, or I might not feel that he's close, but he is there. And I think this also goes into like how our earthly father figures were modeled to us. If you had like a distant father, or if you had like a father that was like emotionally unpredictable, then you might like project that feelings onto God. You might feel like, okay, God isn't here with me because I messed up, or God isn't here with me because I'm struggling with that habit again. No, God is always there for you, and we need to emphasize and rely on God's faithfulness over our own sense of faithfulness. We can't be faithful in our own merits. The more we try harder to get close with God, I feel like the more we feel further away from Him, because we need to really accept that He's right in front of us. And the more we accept that, the more peace we have, and the more we might not always feel like He's close, but we have that sense of inner conviction that He is there. And that's what I want to um, say to you all today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I want to remind you that God loves you no matter where you are, and remind yourself that God is right in front of you.